3D printed this mask, and it's pretty cool. It's from the Avatar Last Airbender series. But the problem is, it's a pretty bad print, and I want it to be functional because it fits my face really well. So I'm gonna protect it. I'm starting with the inside, and I have these strips of fabric that I cut, and I've got, this is like a glaze, but it's a kind of thick, clear paint, and it's an old paint. I don't really care what it looks like in there, but we're gonna make it like a paper mache. We're gonna paint it on and lay the strips in. Goes on thick like a paste. Now we just got to do a lot more. There we go, our first 3 strips are in. Make sure you like rub out the air bubbles. It'll be a stronger fit. I used a large piece to cover the forehead here, and a small one for the nose here. Definitely put lots of material down before you put the fabric down. That way you've got a great base, and so it sticks well. There's a nice thick coat of the glaze. These smaller pieces help fit into these nooks and crannies. Take your time. Work around those detailed areas. Let the fabric guide itself around the corners. I'm using my brush to fill in these little gaps and bubbles inside the nose here. With patience, you can do a really nice job. There's a lot of texture in these teeth, so I'm loading it up with extra glaze. We're going to start in the middle and work our way outwards. So this is a good place to stop. I feel like I've got great coverage right out to the edges. We're going to let this dry down. See what needs to be done at a later date. So I put a couple coats of paint on here, and you can see there's still some lines from printing, but it's a nice thick layer, and we're going to do a little wet sanding. That helps a lot right away. Using a wet or dry paper lets the sandpaper slide over the paint a little easier. The water kind of washes away the excess. So now you can see it's a lot smoother. A lot of those lines are hidden just because of that filler primer. Let's do some more. That's looking a lot better. All right, I've added one more coat of the filler primer, and it looks like it's really helping fill in all those lines. We're gonna let this dry and move on to the next layer. All right, this is a thick white paint. It was like a house trim paint that's like thickened up a bit. And what I'm really liking about this is that we're getting some texture from the brush strokes. So we got rid of the uniform lines from the printer, and now we're actually adding lines by the like the gestures of the brush strokes. All right, we're gonna get started with this blue here. This is a Ralph Lauren neutral tinting base semi-gloss paint. We'll see how it goes. All right, we're going to let this dry and do some touch-up as needed. So there we have it. Touch-ups are done, and it's looking pretty good. What do you guys think? Should we do some antiquing? This is Ralph Lauren's, well, it's a glaze, and it's got some pigment in it, but it's also got a clear. And so when it dries down, it just makes things look old, weathered. So we're just going to coat it liberally. I'm going to put it on everything. Sloppy, it doesn't matter. You figure with time, all the goop and gunk of dust and dirt and whatever's in the air is going to get into those crevices, the hard to reach places, the hard to clean places. So they will be affected more than, let's say, an open, smooth surface. So make sure we get in those little gaps in the teeth. These little cracks and crevices are going to be noticeable now. We're even going to get some back in here because maybe we'll see it from the inside, from an angle. It's doubtful, but at least we'll get all the edges. Seal your paints up tight. That's why I've had it so long. Now is the fun part. We'd wipe it all off. And, it's a messy job, but someone's got to do it. So wipe off all those top surfaces, all those easy to clean areas. But don't do too good a job. Nice. That wasn't so hard now, was it? Now we gotta let it dry. And here you have it. And now it's dry. You can see the gray has turned into just a darkening. Instead of bright white, we have like bits of ivory. Overall, I'm pretty impressed. From a 3D print that was kind of falling apart to something I'm proud to put on my wall. Definitely impressed. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. I'll put a link to the model in the comments below, the description. Cheers. Welcome to the new family.